Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm here for the match preview of Sassuolo against AC Milan. Match that will be played on February 26th at 3 p.m. Italian time in Sassuolo. A very crucial match for Milan. Of course, another must-win match following last weekend's success against Fiorentina at the San Siro. And it is another very important match. This time, we are playing Sassuolo, a team that was supposed to do better than their current spot in the standings at the beginning of the season. Many expectations were once again with Sassuolo after having qualified for the Europa League just before getting sent out of the group stage. But a major cause to their negative performance, at least in the season so far, as they are currently sitting in the 12th place position, was due to the lack of Domenico Berardi due to a lengthy injury that he had, and he wasn't able to play for a long time at Sassuolo, and that's exactly where they lacked in terms of performances as well as results. However, since his return at Sassuolo, Sassuolo have only lost twice in the last 6 Serie A games. This is what the statistics are speaking of, and this could definitely be once again a very strong weapon for a side like a Sassuolo to have if they want to climb some places in the standings. Now, personally, I don't think there's anything to really add to Sassuolo since they probably won't be qualifying for anything such as Europa League, or they won't get relegated. They're one of those teams that is just in the middle of the pack, waiting for the season to finish to hopefully find better things next year. But I still think it is a very tough side to beat, just like any other side in the Serie A. We have a very long history, especially against Sassuolo. You guys could recall all the encounters that we had against them in recent years. Personally, I still remember the one that sent Allegri out of Milan, and even more freshly, we all remember the 4-3 thriller that we were witnesses of in the first half of the season at the San Siro, when we were actually 3-1 down in that game before a crazy comeback with goals coming there from Bacca, Paletta, and it was just so crazy of a game. Locatelli also scoring in that one. Really, every time we do play Sassuolo, it seems like everything is just put aside and all the focus is on this match. It's always a very intriguing match, a very interesting match for even the neutrals to watch. So I think we're once again in for a very tight battle. We are playing away, and Sassuolo at home, I don't know if it's just against us, but for some reason they always seem to find a way to get what they want. They're not the best home team, however we always have problems against them, either if we're playing at the San Siro or away from home. Milan, on the other hand, in terms of away record, we've won 5 games out of 12 away games so far this season, and definitely the statistics are not that good. However, we did manage to not lose in the past 2 away games, as we won 1-0 against Bologna, obviously in the last few minutes, and of course the 1-1 tie against Lazio just a few weeks ago. So I'm still positive. I think Milan could still pull something out of this match. I think we need to pull something out of this match because it is really crucial. It is a crucial game, a game that we have to win at all costs if we want to keep up the pace with teams like Atalanta, Inter, and Lazio, which, by the way, if you're still not aware, Atalanta won today against Napoli 2-0, and they're currently only 3 points away from a Champions League spot. It's just unbelievable what Atalanta have done this season. I've watched the game today, and all I could say is that they're really an organized team, a team that does very, very good things. And I think the position in the standings pretty much speaks volumes of what kind of a team they really are this year. So Milan, if they want to keep up the pace with these teams, we definitely need to win. against Sassuolo tomorrow. Inter's playing against Roma, so hopefully they will be dropping some points. Lazio's playing Udinese. You never really know what to make out of that one. But Milan need the 3 points if they want to at least get a chance to compete with Inter and Lazio for an Europa League qualifying spot. Without further ado, however, let's take a look at the probable starting 11 for Milan. As you would expect, not too many changes from what we saw against Fiorentina, but let's take a look at it just the same, as Donnarumma is set to start in net. It is his 18th birthday today, so on that note, everyone at Rossoneri TV would like to wish him a very, very happy birthday. Really, this guy is 18 and just he seems like he's playing like a 25-year-old at the moment. But he once again is set to start tomorrow, so very excited to see if he could pull off an amazing performance on his birthday weekend. As for the back four, we got Abate, Zapata, Paletta, and Vangioni. Now, De Sciglio is back in the call-ups from Montella for this game, but he won't be starting as, of course, he's still not probably fit to play the full match. Vangioni is once again going to be replacing him there on the left back role. But Romagnoli is still not back. He's still injured. He's supposed to be coming back sometime in March. Zapata is once again probably going to start, this time being paired up with Paletta. We saw him against Fiorentina, I believe, for a few moments. But the main problem for Montella was whether Zapata or Gomez should be getting the start against Sassuolo. And to be honest with you, Gomez has had a lot of difficulty containing the strikers. We saw him having problems against Fiorentina with Kalinic. We saw him having problems with Lazio, with Immobile. And frankly speaking, I don't think his containment is very good at the moment. And therefore, that's why Montella is opting to choose Zapata instead. As for the midfield, we got Kuchka, once again the goal scorer against Fiorentina last game, starting on the right. Jose Sosa probably getting the start once again. 2 assists in the last 2 games for him. So very, very good. Locatelli is expected to once again start from the bench. And Bertolacci will be starting on the left there. I think he has won the duel against Pasalic. Up front, we got Suso, Bacca, and Deulofeu. No surprises there. Bacca, during the week, has refused a few offers coming in from China. Montella has approved of this. He was happy that Bacca is remaining. And Bacca's once again mentioned how he needs to work harder. He needs to get the goals. And he needs to help Milan win games again. So far, he hasn't had very good games. We speak about this every week. Nothing has been really getting better for Bacca. A lot of criticism going towards him, which is understandable since he's not doing much. He's just walking around the pitch, not finding himself open at many times, and just lacking in many aspects of his performances. But if he wants to regain the fans' faith, then he has to score goals. He needs to make Milan win matches, and it seems like Montella will once again be going with Bacca tomorrow. I've also read somewhere that Lapadula has returned from his stage with the Italian national team. If you guys weren't aware, he was actually part of that stage. And I think he has a problem. It's a minor problem, nothing too serious, but he won't be starting in this game. So that was the probable starting 11 that we will be seeing tomorrow against Sassuolo. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know if you guys agree with that starting 11 or you would like to see something different. Also, do you think that Milan could pick up a win against Sassuolo, or do you think it's going to be a very, very tough encounter and that Milan is going to be dropping points once again? Let me know all of that in the comment section below, and I'll get right into your comments as we speak. Bashar Beno starts off by saying 9 out of the next 13 games are winnable. Do you think if we win them, we can get to the Champions League? The Champions League is pretty much out of the question at the moment. I mean, if we do win against Sassuolo tomorrow, we are going to be 7 points away from Napoli. But personally speaking, I don't think that We have really what it takes to qualify for the Champions League this year. I'm not saying that I don't believe in miracles, but I'm being realistic here, and I don't think that it's really possible that Milan could make it to the Champions League. However, the Europa League, without a question, we should be capable to qualify for that. We are very close. We are still in contention to get an Europa League position by the end of the season. Therefore, we definitely have to go for that objective. The main objective really for the team is to return to Europe. Whichever it is at the moment, doesn't really matter. What the real thing is that we have to return at all costs for next season. Paul Solo also says, I'm really impressed by Atalanta this season. Petrit also confirms that. He says Atalanta's defense and midfield have set an example for Milan. It's just amazing what Atalanta has really done. And I'm not here to speak about them, but it's really worth it to praise a team like Atalanta, where many seasons they have disappointed, but now they're in contention for a Champions League place, which is actually unbelievable if you ask me. YY says he'd rather see Poli start ahead of Bertolacci. Personally, I don't know if I would start Poli in this type of match. We already got a guy like Kuchka that could definitely give a helping hand in that midfield to win balls and add that physicality that sometimes, more oftentimes actually, Milan seems to lack in that midfield. So I would definitely prefer some guy like Bertolacci or Pasalic to start instead of Poli, just because we need some more playmaker qualities. We need guys that can make runs, could find openings and so forth, and Poli just doesn't seem to have those technical abilities in this persona, really. DJ Ram says, I would go for Locatelli next to Sosa. Who wouldn't want to see that? You still mean in the 4-3-3 formation, or would you imply it in another formation such as the 4-2-3-1? Let me know about that. Paul Solo also confirms Bertolacci deserves more playing time. It's ACM says, apart from 2 goals, Locatelli has not performed up to his potential. I think Locatelli has had a very good start to the season. Like you said, with those 2 goals, many people were impressed in what he was able to show to the fans and so forth. But, you know, as the time passed, a lot of more pressure was put on the kid. He wasn't delivering every game, and I think that kind of got to him. And in the end, you know, I think that had a consequence a bit on his performances and why he was lacking. But look, personally, I'm a guy that if a player deserves to play, then he should be playing. And that's exactly what we saw with Jose Sosa. He came on for the past 2 games. He's got 2 assists. He's showing very good playmaking skills. He's able to deliver nice balls like we saw against Fiorentina last weekend on Kuchka's goal. So at the moment, he deserves the role. He should be the one to start. If Locatelli gets another opportunity and somehow could beat Jose Sosa in terms of performance, or at least what he's capable to show on the field, then at that point, Locatelli should regain his role. But at the moment, I would continue with Jose Sosa. He's currently going in a positive streak. Why would you want to take that off from the starting 11? I personally wouldn't. Therefore, that's my take on the whole Jose Sosa Locatelli situation. Do I think Baka will go to China? Definitely not. Well, at least for this season. I cannot speak for the future seasons, but it is a lot of money, and Baka himself mentioned that, you know, money is not everything for him. He values the way of living and the family before anything else, and I think he's definitely not set to join a league like China yet. He wants to stay in Europe, he wants to win European titles, and he doesn't want to follow that tendency of many other players at the moment. Alvin says, I hope Vanjoni doesn't start. He doesn't seem to know how to defend. I hope De Sciglio or Calabria would start over Vanjoni. De Sciglio, like I said before, has been named to the call-ups. But personally, I would give Vanjoni another shot. I completely agree on the fact that he's not capable of defending, but going forward, he can offer a lot more than De Sciglio, in my opinion. I've seen him do lots of things I've never seen De Sciglio do in his lifetime, and that to me plays a positive impact on my judgment. However, I do agree with you on the fact that he needs to do better defensively. Hopefully, he will get better in that aspect. At the moment, he's not doing that good. But I think with continuity, he could get better. I wouldn't put him as a starter in front of when De Sciglio or Antonelli are fully fit to play. But at the moment, I simply don't see De Sciglio being fully fit to play 90 minutes. And until then, I would still keep Vangioni, at least until Antonelli comes in. Personally, this is my way of valuing them. I would put Antonelli first, then De Sciglio, then Vangioni, but only if those two players are fully fit, I would put them ahead of Vangioni, really. So at that point, De Sciglio is not fully fit. Yes, he's been called up, but I would still prefer Vangioni. The guy's been playing for the last couple of days. I wouldn't want to throw in De Sciglio being cold and not really used to the playing environments for a few weeks now. I would still continue with Vangioni for this game, at least. Safe says the problem with Milan is consistency. You can see them winning against Juve in an amazing fashion and then getting hammered by Genoa 3-0. The inconsistency has messed us up in the last few years. Completely agree with you. This is not a problem that has been only frequent this season, but also in the past few years. And this is really one of the major problems that Milan has and why they keep on dropping points and losing positions on a weekly basis. Sassuolo, are they missing players? Is the team ready? They are not missing players. Berardi is back. I think the team is fully fit, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have to give you some more confirmations on that, but I could check that out for you as we speak. But yeah, the team is mostly fully fit. I think there's just a few players that are not really ready for this match yet, but I think it's going to be a very, very tight match, and it's going to be separated by maximum a goal. That's my prediction in this game. I'm not expecting a full blowout performance by any of these two teams. It's ATM also says, talking about Bacca, giving him games is the only option we have. Let's face it, he is the only first-class striker we have. I hope he delivers again like he did last season. Beryl Ciceno says, now we have to win against Sassuolo. We can't slip up. And really, it's a story of not only this game, but also the future games. If Milan want to get anywhere close to the Europa League positions, I mean, we are pretty close, but what I actually mean is attaining that Europa League position, we're going to have to go on a continuity streak. We're going to have to win game after game. We cannot just stop after 2 positive games and start dropping points again. That is not what Milan needs to do. Milan needs to win at least 4 to 5 games to give a message to the league, improve their position in the standings, and ultimately possibly reach that Europa League goal. Yes, we need to face Berardi. That's obviously true. He says, I'm worried Berardi would outplay Vangioni like he is not there. Definitely, that's one of the few worries that I have going forward in tomorrow's game. That's definitely very true. But at the moment, this is a thing, right? You have a guy like Vangioni and you have a guy like De Sciglio. I understand De Sciglio's better defensively. He has more experience in Milan than Vangioni, but it all goes up to match fitness. I will not want De Sciglio to start in this game, and after 20 minutes, for whatever the case is, he needs to come off because he's not fit. He has an injury problem again. He's not feeling it. I wouldn't want that. And that will also contribute to further time lost for De Sciglio because he wouldn't be able to return at an earlier time due to that. So personally, I will go with Vangioni. The guy is more fit at the moment than De Sciglio. He's been playing more games than De Sciglio in recent weeks. He's been seeing the field much more. And until De Sciglio's completely recovered, or at least until Antonelli comes back, I will continue with Vangioni because that's really the only option we have. A lot of you guys are also saying Calabria in the left back role. I've seen Calabria. I would personally play him on the right instead of the left. I don't like how he plays on the left. I prefer much more on the right. If he has to play on the right, I will for sure take that option, but not on the left. It's ACM says a couple of defeats and we are out of the Europe race. Completely agree with you. There's still lots of games to go. There's still about 13 games, I believe. So yeah, we definitely have to win at least I would say 9 out of those 13 games need to be wins if we want to make it to Europe, and we cannot really afford to make any more false movements. Y says, I think Vanjoni is originally a winger but moved to the defense as a last resort, just like Abate. Well, Vanjoni has midfield qualities as well. Definitely, he could play as a midfield, and we've seen him even going up. We've seen his tendencies of moving up with the ball and crossing it himself, or even taking shots himself. So, yeah, definitely he could play as a midfield as well. And defense is not his main role, I guess you could say, but he has been playing in that position in his career as well. RK Ghosh says, Donnarumma's birthday today. Where's your wish, Gio? I already did the wish. You probably came late to the live stream, but I already did it before when I was talking about the probable starting 11. But once again, for those of you that didn't hear my wish and are just coming into the live stream, happy birthday, Gijo. Happy 18th birthday. Wish you all the best. And of course, if you're listening to us, give us a thumbs up, but chances are you probably aren't. But yeah, definitely, I'm very happy what Gijo has shown, and I'm very excited to see what he could do tomorrow in his birthday weekend celebration. DJ Ram says, if you saw the last couple of minutes in the Fiorentina match, Abate almost scored. I think the sub that Montella did in the last minute changed the game. Yeah, I saw that. Definitely Abate had a big chance there. Already spoke about it last week. His finishing needs to get better. But yeah, definitely very good movements by Abate. Needs to do better though. Those movements need to be more frequent than just one time in a random blue moon. Paul Solo says, it's crazy how one player's absences, such as Jack, has such a big impact on the team. We are pretty much crippled without him. Definitely, I mean, Bonaventura has always been a very important piece of this team, and I've said it time and time again. His injury is going to cost us dearly, unfortunately. But that's football. Lots of players, lots of teams suffer these injuries to major players. It's not only Milan. We just have to live with it and hope for the best. So on that note, guys, before I do sign off, let me know if you guys have some predictions for the scorelines for tomorrow's match before I get into your other comments. Locust ZA says, did we agree a deal with Villarreal for Matteo Musacchio? Now, I've read reports about this. There's still no deal. Pretty much, it's all going to go down to whether the Chinese are willing to actually accept this player in the team. Chances are that they will be, but at the moment there's still no deal, even though there have been some reports saying that there has, but they haven't been really reliable sources. So until a reliable source actually announces that there is a deal, until Milan announces it themselves, I wouldn't really talk about Musacchio too much as being an official Milan player, but chances are that the Chinese will be agreeing to this. Burial says, Vanjoni is good, and we have to give him more playing time. We only conceded 2 goals in the 3 games he's played. That's true. That's very true. But besides the goals that we concede, it's just players getting past him the problem. I'm not speaking about the whole goals against scenario here. I'm just speaking about how sometimes, he bites too fast. He goes into those tackles too fast. And more times than not, he's caught up in a booking on the referee's book there with a yellow card. Therefore, that's exactly what Vanjoni needs to do better in the long run. So, in terms of predictions, Clayton is saying 2-0 Milan, 2-1 Milan for YY. Hi Tommy, how you doing? It's ACM says 2-1 for Milan as well. DJ Ram 1-1. Hussein says 3-1 win. Alvin is going for a more high-scoring game like we have seen. 2-2 draw. 3-1 for Milan, says Paul Solo. And RK Gosh, the only person really on this stream that's saying a victory for Sassuolo, 2-1. I'm saying this because we always seem to lose against them away. Well, I hope your prediction is a jinx and we actually turn that thing around and get a win at Sassuolo. like I said before, a very, very important game. And we definitely need to win to pick up those 3 points in order to remain in the race for the Europa League. Just before I sign off, a few minor announcements regarding tomorrow. As usual, we will be having our live stream watch along starting 30 minutes before kickoff, so make sure you guys join us for that. You guys could communicate with me and other watchers, other viewers in the live stream throughout the entire match. You guys are pretty much all familiar with how the live stream watch along already works, and that will be followed by the match review right after the match ends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV, guys. We are nearing 12,000 subscribers. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit on that subscribe button. Also, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And if you're feeling generous today, you can also donate to the channel by clicking on the super chat button. That is the $ icon right where you type in your live comments. You can help with a contribution to the channel, and your name will be featured in tomorrow's live stream watch along. On that note, guys, thank you all for watching. I'll be seeing you tomorrow for those videos. This has been Gio, signing off from Rossoneri TV, and as always, Forza Milan.